G'day guys, welcome back to the Aussie Gooner channel. And yes, it's last minute FC. It's me doing the preview that I was supposed to do yesterday, today. But hey, look, I'm here, we're there, and Arsenal's midfield is everywhere. Look, thank you for joining me today. Shits and Giggles FC. Smash the likes, please subscribe and share the thing before we get into the thing. Guys, St. James's Park, Arsenal, travelling, not a great thing for us right now. Arsenal's record at St. James's Park has been abysmal. And right now, with everything that's going on at Arsenal Football Club and the way we are sort of shifting our midfield, the way we're trying to find out who fits in where and how everything goes, this is not going to be an easy game to go into. My issue that I have at the moment is we really don't know how our midfield looks when it comes to any team that comes to our home or if we go to away. Now, we're going in to this Newcastle game right now with a pretty bad record. We haven't won there for shit. Like in the Premier League, I think it was like 2023. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was like 2023 when we won there. And it's not a record that I'm going to be jumping around for joy for right now. I'm not. Arsenal right now, their record at home hasn't been too bad. Yes, we sit in a very good position in the Premier League. And even though we are still chopping and changing our midfield and we still don't know right now, we still don't know who fits in where and how we look when it comes to facing Newcastle, when it comes to facing anyone. Where does Eze go? Where does Declan Rice go? Where does Merino go? Where does Odegaard go? Millions of questions for Mikel Arteta. He's still chopping and changing. How does Ethan Nwaneri be used in this game? Can he be used in this game? We have a squad that we could take to St. James's Park and do damage right now. And we need a manager right now, in my opinion, that's going to play the strongest possible team against Newcastle United. Now, I understand Newcastle United are not in the best of form right now. But Arsenal Football Club, at the given moments in the present time, let's be honest, with our pairing of Declan Rice and Mikel Merino, we've looked a little bit lost for words, lost for shots at goal, lost for opportunities created. I've got Gyökeres, a great striker, winning awards, and he's not getting any service right now. So at the present time, the way I see it, if we're going to go to Newcastle United, if we're going to go to St. James's Park and face Newcastle United, of course, then we need to go out there with the strongest squad. Now, the only squad that I can think of Arsenal playing right now is one that includes Eze and one that will include Bukayo Saka. Now, I hate to say it. Bukayo Saka, regardless if he's ready or not, I need a right wing. Big up Tyrell Gunner TV. Big up the Aussie Gooner. Says, thank you very much, my guy. I hope you're doing well. Hope everyone that's watching right now is doing well. Please like the thing. But yeah, I am saying it here, guys. And look, if you're not up for it, if you're in the chat right now, if you're watching this, what do you think? Bukayo Saka, should he start rain, hail, or shine in this game? Is it worth the risk? Can we afford it? Can we afford to go to St. James's Park without Bukayo Saka? Who comes in? If Bukayo Saka doesn't start in this game, is it time that Ethan does? Now, that's a good question. I'd love to know what everyone thinks. Because if Bukayo Saka is not ready for this game at St. James's Park, to start, that is, I mean, he could make a cameo off the bench. But if he's not ready to start, does that mean that Ethan Nwaneri is going to be utilised as a right winger? I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. Noni Madueke is done. He's going to be done for a while. So our right wing is looking a bit bare at the moment. Now we go to the opposite side. So Bukayo Saka, should he start? Tell me what you think. Should he start? Is he worth the risk? This ain't going to be no walk in the park. Now on the other side, the left wing. Who gets a kick in now? Because let's be honest, we can throw in Eze to the left. But what does that mean about our midfield? Now, Martin Odegaard, I don't know. I'm hearing he's a doubt. It's a chance he could play. Maybe yay, maybe nay. Now, if Martin Odegaard does start in the middle of the park, then best believe, in my opinion, it better be Eze on the left. AFC always in the building. Madueke out injured. Add this to the mental list over the past 2 years, and there's quite clearly a pattern. Wallies will tell you we're just unlucky. Yeah, that's fair enough. We're unlucky. Or is it that we're not managing our injuries correctly? Is that an issue? Is our problem that we are playing our players when they're coming back from, or playing our players into the ground, and maybe we're bringing our players back from injury too quick? What do you think? Tell me what you reckon. Is it a chance right now that we are unfortunately playing our starting lineup into the ground, driving him into the ground? Tell me what you reckon. So with Martin Odegaard being a possible cameo in this game, or maybe a starter, right? Maybe a starter. Then that would mean Eze on the left. Now, I think that if Eze is going to start on the left, then Martin Odegaard has to start in the middle of the park. Only reason is because Mikel Arteta will not start Ethan Nwaneri. He will not start Ethan Nwaneri in the middle of the park. It's like he has something against the guy. He really does. What can I say? I'm a little bit dejected right now. I'm a little bit upset with our current managing style and the way Mikel Arteta is shaping us up. It's getting a little bit, I don't know. It's like we're not playing for the badge, we're playing for the name of the bag. We're playing to prove a point right now. Mikel Merino in the middle of the park. Declan Rice in the middle of the park. Zubimendi. All like-for-like midfielders. Zubimendi being a 6. Declan Rice a 6. Now we've got Mikel Merino, a fake 10, number 8. Come on. Like, seriously, come on. The way I see it, guys, honestly, right now, bear with me, guys. I'm just going to invite someone over to the stream. Copy that. Let me just go over here. Sorry, guys. Sorry for this. For some reason, that ain't working. I'll try it again. What do we got here? Akpos, give me 1 sec if you're watching, bro. I'm going to be sending this to you now. I'm not going to be doing it on WhatsApp because I can't do it off my computer, bro. So it's got to be there. Boom. Akpos, check that out, bro. Check that out. Akpos is going to be joining us, guys. So, yeah, look, at the moment, I'm hearing 50-50 Martin Odegaard to start. 50-50. And I don't want to be, let's do a last-minute lineup switch or lineup change just because of Martin Odegaard. Let's be perfectly honest. A Martin Odegaard coming in 50-50 is going to be us playing with 10 men. I don't want Martin Odegaard into this game to prove his fitness 5 minutes before the fucking game. I've had just about enough of that shit. Last minute FC. Oh, he's fit. He'll be fine. And then he comes in and he's lackluster. Mikel Arteta is treating the fucking squad like you would a fucking team from bloody FC 25. It's a joke. If Odegaard is injured now, then Odegaard is fucking injured. We need to move on from this. Odegaard's injured. Gone. Done. Bukayo Saka starts. Yes or no? No? Then it's got to be fucking Ethan Nwaneri in the middle of the park. It's got to be Eze on the left. Right? What's it going to be? And then who's going to play the right? Figure the fucking shit out. I don't know what to say. We don't have a squad. We don't have the squad. We need to risk a player. Is it Odegaard or is it Saka? Now, I know Saka came in, and my guy, AFC Always, is saying, check this out. I would never have started Saka against Port Vale. And I'm with you, because it's not worth the risk. Guys, I'm just going to add Akpos to the stream. Akpos, how you going?
I'm doing good, brother. Good to have me on the stream. Good to be back on the channel. And big up to everybody currently watching, everybody in the comment section. Big up. I hope you've liked and subscribed already. If you've not, please, support the fantastic work a fellow Gunnar is doing on the channel. And, press that like button and also subscribe to the channel. But it's good to be, back on the channel, back on talking about everything Arsenal, and big up to AFC Always. Shout out my brother Michael. Big up.
Big up, Mick. Big up. Thanks for joining me, Akpos. I'm having a little bit of a rant. I don't mean to get into that rant, but I've got Bukayo Saka right now, who's come back a little bit early.
Yeah.
In my opinion, right? And we've got no depth on the right. Nani's out. Now, I've asked everybody in the stream, tell me, everybody in the chat. So anyone who's watching this, anyone in the chat, tell me what you think. Let me know in the chat. does Bukayo Saka start this game regardless? And the only reason I'm saying it is because if Martin Odegaard is a 50-50, Akpos, feel me, if Martin Odegaard ain't ready for this game, right? Let's say he needs to prove his fitness day of. I'm not interested in that shit. I'm not. I really want it to be clear cut. Martin Odegaard is not good tomorrow. Not tomorrow, he's not good. Fuck it. I want Ethan Nwaneri to play the number 10. But that means that Bukayo Saka may need to be risked to start against Newcastle. What do you think? Do we risk Bukayo Saka? Do we risk him in this game?
Well, for me, I think it's not about risking him now. I think Saka has already, returned from the injury. It got 60 minutes against Port Vale. And for me, I think Saka has to start this one. But it also has to do with where is he at after the last game. Is he looking, is he fit? Is he carried anything out of the game? Or, he came out from the game unscathed. I think these are the factors that we need to put into consideration. But for me, if Saka came out from that game, without carrying no knocks, without, having no other new injuries, I think this game, Saka has to start definitely because we need our Saka back. We also need Saka playing with as much match fitness as soon as possible. And, starting games like going to a tough ground like St. James Park and starting there the kind of games that would get Saka back to 100% match fitness in no time. So for me, I think as long as he's not carrying any new baggages, as long as, his medical shape is looking sharp after the midweek game, I think Saka has to start this one. I think it's a no-brainer for me that Saka starts.
If Saka starts this game, then that means that the availability of Ethan Nwaneri now is up. It's up for grabs because I do not want to see, in my opinion, either Martinelli or Trossard starting this game. I still don't believe either one of them should be playing the 11. Now, if this is going to be the case, right, I want to see Eze on the left, of course, with the directions to cut in early, but I do want to see Ethan Nwaneri play the 10. Now, I don't care who plays beside Ethan. I really couldn't care less if it's Declan Rice or Mikel Merino. In my opinion, and this is going to sound shit, right? I'd probably rather Merino beside Nwaneri, to be honest. But I do need to see Nwaneri come in. And the only reason is because Odegaard, this shoulder injury that Odegaard's been, recovering from, is one that's been reoccurring. So he's re-injured and it's the same shoulder all over again.
Yeah.
And Mikel Arteta has got this tendency of putting a player onto the pitch, even though medical staff are saying, you know what, it's not looking good. William Saliba. And let's be honest, Bukayo Saka came back early. So I've got a bad feeling that Odegaard's going to get maybe called up, but I don't want to see it. Would you rather see, now this is a question, guys, everybody in the chat, everybody out there, would you rather see an 80% Odegaard, I'll say 80% Odegaard in the middle of the park with Eze on the left, or 100% Nwaneri in the middle of the park and Odegaard on the bench? What do you reckon, Akpos?
For me, I will go with 100% Ethan Nwaneri because I think this is the game where we need, players who will be staying as sharp, players who will be playing with as much match fitness as possible. For me, we all have seen what 100% Ethan Nwaneri can give, and we need players who will be on the creative side of things. And we know one of the qualities that Ethan Nwaneri comes with when he's playing in this midfield is his ability to run at players, his ability to take on shots. So for me, if Odegaard is not anywhere near 100% match fitness, I want to see him on the bench, and I want to see Ethan Nwaneri starting this one because in the games where we've seen Ethan playing in the midfield so far this season, he has done a very good job, in my opinion. He has given us that creative outlet. He has given us, that player that can take on the ball and also, run at players and, push back opposition defense and also take shots on goal. So for me, if Odegaard is not anywhere near 100% match fitness, Ethan has to start in this one because I think the manager has to show more faith with Ethan. I think for people who know, who have heard me talk about Ethan, especially from last season, they can testify that I've been very vocal in terms of the manager showing more faith. But this is a player who has signed just signed a new contract extension with the club, giving the club his future, also showing his commitment that he wants to be here. And I think the manager needs to show more faith. And we've seen what Ethan can do on this day. So for me, I think Ethan going over there and starting in a difficult ground like St. James's Park, I would fancy Ethan to hold his own on out there and also give, the likes of Bruno Ramirez, the likes of Joel Linton a run for their money in that midfield battle, in my opinion.
I think Ethan gives us a little bit of and AFC always is saying it here. Don't ever want to see Merino in the midfield. He offers nothing. So Mick's pretty much saying that I don't want to even see Merino on the pitch. And you know what? At the moment, I don't look either or. But you know what? Your opinion is your opinion. I don't think Merino's great either. Declan Rice in the middle of the park wouldn't be a bad shot either. It really wouldn't be. Honestly, AFC always Mick again's come in and said having Merino in the midfield is like Fellaini and Arteta at Everton. Yeah. And Mick's also agreeing that he wants Ethan one scary in the middle of the park, and I don't blame him. See, if we start Ethan one year in the middle of the park, and I know a lot of people are going to say, well, what happens when Bukayo Saka has to come off? Now, this is the Max Dowman effect. I want to see Max in this game, and the only reason is because Arsenal are predictable. Because Arsenal are so predictable, some teams are having an easier time in that low block, kicking back and allowing us to hold on to possession, right? And to just ping the ball around slowly, but do nothing with it, not really penetrate. Now, this is where I think we need a little bit of that creative spark. And I think Ethan Nwaneri, Eze, Saka, Dowman, can also hopefully break down that stubborn Newcastle defense. St. James's Park hasn't been good to us, to be honest, Akpos. It's been fucking horrible. It's been
we've not scored in our last 3 visits there.
Yeah. And the last time we won was like 2023, wasn't it?
2023, yes. It's
2023
there.
Yeah. 2023. So they're really looking sharp at home. So they're going to be coming at it, yeah, buddy, like Arsenal, we know what we do here. We got this. I don't want us to go into games where it's like 25, 30 passes before we make an attack. Mikel Arteta really needs to look at his midfield because it's the midfield that's really causing the issues right now. So midfield and the issue with the midfield is that we do not know what the starting lineup looks like. Moreno, Declan Rice. I know Odegaard starts, he's the captain. Fair enough. But if we're looking for creativity, if we're looking for a midfield that's going to take it to Newcastle, and anyone watching this back, tell me if I'm wrong. An Odegaard Eze midfield with Zubimendi behind screams creativity. With Bukayo Saka on the right, Gyökeres in the middle of the park, and man, unfortunately, it's going to be one of Martinelli or Trossard on the left. But that still screams creativity. That means that we're going to start to see goals. But a midfield pairing, in my opinion, of Moreno and Rice, which is what I've said a million times, is literally going to have us parking the bus all day. Now, I think moving forward, if we have Ethan Nwaneri playing in the middle of the park with Eze on the left, this is going to really help us expose Livramento, Trippier. They're going to be all over the joint because we're going to have to go at them hard. Trippier is going to have a hard time. Livramento is going to have a hard time. And then at least Gyökeres can start giving Burn and or Shah a bit of a run for their money because they're big boys. And to be honest, I think the only way Gyökeres gets himself a goal is by stretching the defense. And I think Eze on the left-hand side is key in this game. And if he's not on the left, he better be in the middle of the park, in my opinion. If it's not going to be Eze on the left, he's going to have to be in the middle of the park.
It has to start in the middle. I think Eze has to start this game, in my opinion, because we need that creative spark. We need that player who has that, that magic in him to create something out of nothing. We saw how he created a goal for Gabriel Martinelli. I think we need more of that because our striker, our number 9, is a kind of striker that makes a lot of runs in behind the defense. So I think we need players that can release, players who have the foresight to release Gyökeres on time, and players who are going to play very direct, and Eze is one of them, in my opinion, because I think leading. I think there was a move we did against Manchester City when Eze came on, and it took about 3 or 4 passes to move us from our side of the pitch, our half of the pitch, to Manchester City's box 18. And this is one area that a lot of us has been screaming that our build up has been very slow. We are building up the ball in a very slow manner, and teams get to get back in shape before we get the ball to the opposition half. And this is also one of the place where I think we've missed Madueke so far, since Madueke has been out injured, because he has been only one of the very direct attacking outlet that we have, that when he gets the ball, the first thing that comes to mind is I want to take the ball to the opponent's 18-yard box. So I think we need to be very direct against Newcastle. And Eze is also one of the players who would be that direct attacking outlet for us. So for me, if it's not going to start on the left, I think it's a no-brainer that it starts through the middle, because we need that creativity. Because one of the reasons why we've also struggled in our recent visit at St. James's Park, because we are not creating enough clear scoring chances. So we need a lot of creators on the pitch, and I think this is where the likes of Eze starting, the likes of Ethan Nwanery starting, and potentially the likes of Bukayo Saka starting also would make that attack more fluid and also give us that creative edge that we need to beat Newcastle, if we can do it over there at St. James's Park.
We need to do it over there. We need to win over there.
We have to.
We need 3 points. We've dropped too many. Look, Liverpool are laughing at us right now. Liverpool, look, don't get it twisted, guys. Liverpool are still in second gear. They haven't gotten the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. They haven't even got there. They're having trouble right now. They're not looking at Liverpool that we were all expecting. Florian Wirtz is struggling. Thank goodness. Isak, whatever. But we need to start kicking off now and stop dropping points. Now, the middle of the park, right? I know we're emphasizing a lot, but that's because our midfield maestro manager can't get it right. But we got one more possible. We got one more sort of ace card in the middle of the park. Now, Miles Lewis-Skelly had a decent game recently, and Skelly in that midfield, he's a ball-playing midfielder, an eye for goal. A true eight, an 8 that'll get into the box, a Xhaka 8, not as good as Xhaka, let's say, but a Xhaka 8, a kind of guy that gets in the middle of the park and sets up Eze. I'm just saying, right? Now, Declan Rice is a player that's going to be looked in at in this game. Mikel Merino, probably not so much. But I know that Guimaraes, Joel Linton, Tonali are big midfielders, very big. But Declan Rice...
And they have legs.
That's right. Declan Rice, unfortunately, his speed kind of lets him down. And I believe that if Rice starts this game, let's say he starts, I'd like to see a 60-minute substitution for Rice to Skelly. Only because if Skelly comes on later in the game and Eze is playing the 10, the fluidity will continue and the balls is going to keep on rolling. Whereas you'll notice as the game starts to drag on, Declan Rice starts to really fade out. Not that he's a bad player, but he fades. So I don't. Do you think that? Let's say, does Skelly start, or does Skelly come on early, or does Skelly not even get a mention in this game? Akpos,
bro, I think a lot of us want to see Skelly playing in that midfield position, but we know it's not going to happen with Declan Rice and Mikel Merino out there. Those are the guys that Mikel Arteta is not willing to drop for a young Miles Lewis-Skelly. Declan Rice, a 100 million signing. Mikel Merino, I would call him Mikel Arteta's boy, because practical a Mikel Arteta signing. So I think as long as both players are fit and available, I think it will be very hard for us to see Miles Lewis-Skelly coming in that midfield position. I think I don't want to believe that it's going to happen anytime soon, in my opinion. Even though I want to see it. I don't think that the manager will do it. Yeah.
I know why. And that's the thing. We want an unpredictable midfield, but we've got a predictable manager. And that's what's costing Arsenal now. In the footballing world, the YouTube world, and in the world right now of Premier League, everyone looks at Arsenal and they say, you know what? They've got possibly one of the best squads available when it comes to depth and quality. But we are still playing football, hit and miss, and scary FC. Not convincing. And AFC All Mix come in and said, check this out. He says, Liverpool haven't been good yet, but they are doing what champions do.
Win games.
And exactly. And I couldn't agree with you more. They are. Unfortunately, we are looking like that second fiddle FC. Mix back in again. Let me just get this one. Let me ask you this. If you found a genie in a lamp, what would you use your 3 wishes on at Arsenal Football Club? Oh, shit. What would I use it on? Okay. My first wish would be for Mikel Arteta to play for the badge and not for himself. So in other words, to manage for the Arsenal and not for Mikel Arteta. So what I need him to do is take a step back, stop thinking about himself and making himself look good and trying to prove a point, but to start managing his team in regards to the best interest for Arsenal Football Club. That's what will be my first wish, right? My second wish will be for Berta, right, and for Josh Kroenke to spend a massive amount of money in January to get me a number 11, right? Massive amount, like crazy amount, right? Because I'm not going to stand and say, blah, blah, blah. And my last wish, right, will be to win the Premier League this season, right? And if that means holding on to Mikel Arteta, this version, so be it. The new version, the version I just wish for. Akpos, what would you do?
Well, for me, my first wish would be to win the league this season. For me, I think it's been long overdue for us to get our hands on this prize silverware. And the second wish would be to win the UEFA Champions League, because that's one trophy that we do not have yet in our trophy cabinet. So I would love for us to win it in my lifetime as an Arsenal fan. So I would want to use the both wishes. And the third one, I would second one of the wishes that you've already mentioned, which is for the board, for the ownership to make funds available to go out there and bring in a marquee signing on the left-hand side. But there is a comment that's caught my eye coming from
Muro. I know you. I'm going to hit it up there right now, my guy.
Bring it up,
I saw
bro.
it. I didn't say nothing.
Bring it up.
My guy Akpos is all over this. And you know what? Look.
Bring it up.
Let's chat. Please, Maruro, this is open. It isn't Arteta in, Arteta out. Here, there's none of that shit. Grown men here. Arteta in, Arteta out's bullshit. I want Arteta to succeed here. But right now, yeah, Akpos, please go at it. Please.
The first question I have for you, my brother, I know you're a fellow Gunnar. The first question I have for you is, are you impressed with the kind of football you've watched your team play so far? This is it. Be honest. Drop your comments in the comment section, because for me, I would say I'm not impressed, because I think we have the tools, we have the skill sets, we have the players that we can be seeing so much better quality football in terms of the quality of football that's been on display. So I don't know what you were talking about with respect to complaining, but if you are satisfied with the quality of football that you've seen this team dish out, I am not satisfied, because I have seen Arsenal play better quality of football. And why I would, also want to touch that point a little bit is, now we have the skill, now we have the players, now we have the personnel. I think a couple of seasons ago, a lot of people can argue that, okay, we don't have certain players in certain positions. Now we have a variety of number 10s. Now we have players who could play multiple positions. Now we have the best striker in the world, who has just won the Gerard Muller Award. So I want to see this team playing so much better. I want to see this team creating chances for the best striker in the world right now, who has done it for the last 2 seasons at Sporting Lisbon. And for me, I think so far he has struggled, which I think, yes, it can happen when a player, moves to a different division, a different league and all of that. But I want to see the manager using this player to his best, to his strength. Not right now, we don't have a team that is playing to the strength of one of the best strikers out there. So these are my concerns. Just tell me that I'm wrong, and let's have a debate. Let's have a proper conversation on these concerns that I've raised. What are your thoughts? Do you think we've utilized Victor Gyökeres to the best of his potential? Do you think this Arsenal team are playing the kind of football that you want to watch for a season stretch? Let me know your thoughts on that. But Steve, I know you have a lot to see on your mind with respect to this comment.
Oh, look, big up for the comment. Thank you for the comment. And look, another bunch of complainers. It would have been nice for a little bit more. The reason why I'm not complaining, I'm just calling it straight. A spade. This is not complaining. This is me telling you that it's raining, and when we look out the window, it's raining. I do not knock Mikel Arteta for the kind of football that he can play, that this team can play. Because under Mikel Arteta, we've played some good football. Let's be honest, my guy. We have honestly, literally seen some wonderful football under Mikel Arteta. I'm talking some shit where one team scores and it's like, shh, watch this shit. Watch this. Click, goal. We've seen that. We've seen a lot under Mikel Arteta. But I'm going to say one thing, my guy. Now, look. My problem that I have is that I can see I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I'm decent when it comes to football, but I am not the smartest guy in the world. I'm not better than Arteta, but I can see it. Two like-for-like midfielders in Mikel Merino and Declan Rice. Now, let me break it down for you. I'm not going to come at you. I'm just going to talk to you straight, right? What I want to say to you is Declan Rice is unfortunately a 6 trying to play an 8. So he's a fake 8. And the only reason that's happened is he's supposed to be Thomas Partey's replacement. That didn't work out. Zubimendi's come in, and you know what? I like Zubimendi. But Zubimendi is a number 6 that likes to move the ball forward quick, either to the wings or to the 10. Remember that. That's what he does. He does it great too, right? Now, the other thing that I have a problem with is Mikel Merino. The issue with Mikel Merino is he's more of an 8 than a 10. And he really isn't being utilized as an 8. He's being pushed to play the 10. So that's two midfielders that I don't blame the players that are out of position. Even Martin Odegaard is an 8, not a 10. Right? So this is where I have a drama with Mikel Arteta. And the drama I have is that he's got Eze now. He's got Odegaard now. He's got Zubimendi now. And I'd love to see them going. And you know what? If he fields them, my guy, and shit works, it's great. But I want to see him utilize the squad. Ethan Nwaneri, my guy, good player. Let's try him out. I want to see Mikel Arteta be that guy who can just do something spontaneous because he's got a squad of spontaneity. So that way we can take the football games and the games to the opposition. We can push them into the corner because best believe, my guy, we have got a squad that can do damage all day. And whether it be all out defend or all out attack, we got a squad that can do damage. So that's what I'm saying, my guy. So thank you for the comment. I know it's dragged on with me and Akpos. We wanted to come back at you. But me and Akpos aren't complaining. We're just calling it the way it is. And if you want to, by all means, let us know what your thoughts are. And anyone else listening to this, let us know what your thoughts are, please, my guy. Mick has come in and said Arteta's best football was 2022, 2023. Exciting football. Exactly. I swear. Oh, we've got another comment here. Ezio, I can't really say the rest of your name. I'm sorry, my guy. I'm pretty fucked up that way. It says, nobody has ever dominated Pep like that in 17 years as a manager. It's a legit statement by Mikel Arteta. Now, I'm going to come in on that one. Yes. But do you agree that, yes, maybe we dominated Pep, but maybe do you agree that we actually let him off lightly? That Mikel could have fucked him really good. Like Mikel could have actually not wasted 45 minutes, fielded the midfield that he should have, and really fucked him up. So I believe that Mikel Arteta did okay, right, against Manchester City. Not great, okay. But I believe that game was ours. Those 3 points were ours regardless. Because we had the best squad. Manchester City was scared of Arsenal because they looked at our squad and said, fuck. And we fielded 2 like-for-like midfielders and did nothing for 45 minutes. And I'm not going at you, but we did nothing for 45 minutes to the point that he had to take off his boy, Merino, and actually put someone in to do something. And you know what the funny thing is? My guy, Eze, right? You guys look at the goal. Where did it come from? Right? And where was that guy? And it was a ball over the top. It wasn't 25 passes in. That's what's at Mikel Arteta's fingertips right now. That's what he has. And if he's got that, use it, man. That's what I'm saying. I mean, Akpos, what do you think?
Well, for me, I think yes. This comment, I would agree with some part of it, and I will also disagree with some parts. Yeah, because yes, did we dominate possession? Yes, but what were we doing with that possession? What did we do? And while a lot of people will look at that game and say yes, we dominated City, because for me, yes, I've not seen Pep Guardiola pack the balls before. I've not seen Manchester City pack the balls under Pep Guardiola. So I agree with that part. We did dominates the game in terms of the possession, but what did we do? Did we push them to get goals? Did we create clear cuts scoring chances for our striker? How many chances did Victor Gyökeres miss in that game? How many chances did our wingers miss in that game? So I think I look at that game and it pains me, because that was yet another opportunity for us to turn 1 point into 3 points. And this is the difference between a team that wins the league and a team that does not win it. In games like that, where you are showing your dominance, you have to go for the kill. You have to go for the win. You have to get to all 3 points, because we don't know what's going to happen in the title race in the next couple of months. That 2 points have been the difference, in my opinion. And we were playing a City team that were not playing at their best, and we missed out on an opportunity to beat them. While City dominated us, the period when City was dominating us, they were not just dominating us in the possession, they were also dominating in the scoreline for me, because at the end of the day, the most important metric of your dominance is the scoreline. If you don't score enough goals, your dominance is not complete. Your domination is not complete. So I want to see us dominating. Yes, dominate the possession. I want to see that. And also dominate the scoreline. How about that?
I mean, look, then remember Merino, I think it was Jose Merino who said it, on which game it was, where he only had like 25% or 30% possession. Commentator came, and I think the commentator came in, an interviewer before, after the game, came in and said, "What did you think about the possession stats? I mean, you guys only had 30% of the possession." He said, "Yeah, we only had 30% of the possession. They can take the ball home with them. I'll take the 3 points."
Exactly.
And that's fair enough. I think when it comes to I'll big up my guy Borche in the building. You know what he says to me? He says, "Yes, you are better than Arteta. Yes, trust me, you get me to manage the squad. You get me to manage the squad." Big up my guy. He says, "I hope you have been well, Akpos."
I've been good, brother. I hope you've been well. Big up. Continue the fantastic work you're doing with the young kids over there in Australia. Big up, Busher.
Defo, bro. And I'll give you a call after this, Borche. We'll have a chat. I'll be honest with you. Look, thanks for the comments, guys. And look, I like a little bit of back and forth. It's awesome. Let's go back and forth. I like it, because remember, we're all Arsenal fans. We want the best for Arsenal. We got Newcastle coming up, a ground that St James's Park, a ground that we have now been struggling on, and we've got all these players at our fingertips. Ethan Wanyeri, we've got Eze, maybe an Erdegaard, Miles Lewis-Skelly, Gyökeres, Saka, Martinelli, Rice, Moreno, Zubimendi, Timber, Calafiori, Saliba, the list goes on, and Mosquera, the list goes on and on. Look at the squad that I've just named. That is a squad where we could do anything we possibly want against Newcastle. Anything we want. I just want Mikel Arteta to field the strongest possible squad and allow the team to move forward fluently. Now, I said it in my previous previews where I've said we need to start going from attack to defense within 3 to 4 passes, 5 maximum. Any more than that, and it starts to become difficult, right? We start holding on to possession with 20 passes before we even get into the box, or we're just around the box, is pointless. Victor Gyökeres, guys, this striker, this quality striker that we have, will not see the goal or even have a goal in this game if we continue to build up slowly. Gyökeres needs us to act promptly with speed. That's where his goals come from. Eze is a little bit the same. Martinelli is very much the same. If you have any Martinelli fans out there, anyone who likes Martinelli, how does Martinelli score his games? On a counter, goals in a counter, down the middle of the park. So if these players are to be utilized to the best of their ability, it needs to be at pace, on a break, or with quick build-up play. And you know what? Mikel Arteta is capable of this. This squad is capable of this. What do you think, Akpos?
I totally agree with you, my brother, because we've seen this team do it before, and I think they still have it in them to do it. I think the manager still have it in him. It just needs to dig deep, and I think tweak it a little bit, because we've seen Arsenal play a very quick transition like style of football where in 3-4 passes, Arsenal has turned from defense, transition from defense into attack, and the ball is being picked out from the opposition net. And we have the players who can play this style. We have the players who could do it. I think the manager just need to fine-tune them to get the best out of those guys, and also for us to do it as quick as possible, because we also have a striker who is very mobile, a striker who is quick, a striker who wants to make the runs in behind the defense. And also we need to release the ball on time. I think I was seeing on X some days ago where someone was playing some sequence where we had Martin Odegaard in similar positions where we have Eze, and Odegaard is not releasing the ball, is making a sideways pass. I think we have to make sure that our midfielders are taking notes of this run, because in one of these sequences, Martinelli has made a run, but the ball did not come. The true ball did not come to come in behind the defense. I think our midfielders need to be wary of this movement. Our midfielders need to be looking out for our wingers, need to be looking out for our striker when they're making this run. And instead of making the safe pass, let's take the risk. Let's try to catch the opposition off guard, in my opinion. So I think I totally agree with your take, and we need to get our build-up play and our transition, move the ball so much quicker. Instead of going 10 passes, let's try to get it 4 passes and we are in the opposition 18-yard box. I think that way we could apply more pressure on this Newcastle defense, and I think if we can push them to the wall, we can get a couple of goals at St. James's Park, in my opinion.
It's that speed. It's our speed. It's our thought of we need to attack, we need to press, and not just take our time with it. I'm not looking for the perfect goal. That was the old Wenger days. Remember, we used to pass the ball into the back of the net. My God, that tiki-taka football was wonderful. We are playing a brand of football that Manchester City once played, if you remember, about 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
And it's what's hilarious? Arteta has played a better brand of football. Arteta's brand of football is better than this. So I don't know why he's doing this, because we've seen a better brand under Arteta, where it's like, what the fuck, right?
And bro, I think we've had this discussion a couple of times, and we've been asking the big question: what has changed? Because if this has been Arteta's style from the get-go when he took over the reins, it would have been a different story, a different conversation. But we've seen the manager, play a better style of football, play free-flowing attacking football, and we just want to see him do it, give it that try once again, because I think we have the defensive solidity, but we also need to, touch the point that defensive solidity is also there because of the defensive work and how Arteta wants the forward to play. But we just need him to tweak it a little bit so the forward gets a little bit more freedom on their hand, and also, try to get, maybe defensive-minded players to join in the attack when we are pushing teams in our offensive sequence. So I think the manager has it, because we've seen him do it before. He just needs to go back to that framework, go back to that style, in my opinion. I think it's still there. It just needs to bring it out. I don't know what has changed. I don't know if it's the near misses, the back-to-back second position, what some people would call a serious case of seconditis that has plagued the manager now. So, but I don't know, whatever that has changed, Mikel Arteta is still there, and I'm just hoping that he can dig deep, in my opinion, because we need to score goals. In games where you don't score goals, you are not going to win the football game. You need goals to be the difference with which you win games, or you draw games, or you are going to lose them, in my opinion. And we have the players.
The goals are gonna win you games. Nil all ain't gonna get you nothing. Going out to defend games is not gonna get you anything. You know what I mean? It's football is a fine margins game. It is. Got another comment. My guy again. I'm sorry. I can't really pronounce your name, but is Ezio. Look, if I'm pronouncing it wrong, let me know in the comments. Like, spell it out phonetically. Sorry, again, no disrespect. As long as Arteta's project doesn't end up winning anything big, people will criticize for every single statement, with irrespect of how genuine it might sound. I like the way Arteta manages, but the results, manages, but the results, okay. Look, I think I can agree with you to an extent. I can agree with you, yes and no. Look, Mikel Arteta, his management style, I like the fact that if you're going to come play for Arsenal, you come play for Arsenal Football Club, and he takes his football seriously. I like the fact that you come to training on time or you're not going to play. I love that. There are a lot of aspects of Mikel Arteta I like. I like this. You can see that he's got love for Arsenal, but I think his issue at the moment is he is not, I don't know, he's not aware that he's starting to have his own favourites, or he's aware that he has favourites and he's playing them regardless. He has got some flaws. And I think his flaws are in regards to players that can express themselves. Think players like Ethan Wanyeri, players like Eze, players like, players like Noni. These players can't play just in a system. If you want goals to come in, they can't be predictable. Max Dowman, another player who's unpredictable, right, is coming in and doing exactly what we want to see, right? And I'm hoping that Mikel is going to open his eyes for a second and say, you know what? We're not a one-dimensional team. I can change this any which way I want. I want him to have some fun. I want Mikel to go out there. And you know what I want him to do? I'm going to say, I'm going to play this style of football today. I'm going to play that style of football tomorrow. And I want to be second-guessing, going, what are we going to do today? But what I don't want to see is a number 6, and a number 8 in the middle of the park, and everybody wondering why we're not scoring goals. Because remember, my guy, Arsenal attack down the flanks. We never go centrally. So I'm going to get a little bit, we're either right or left. And most of the time's right because of Saka, but we're always right, left. Left is on a counter-attack. So when we want to counter, we go for speed, Martinelli. When we want to go trickery, we go right, Saka. Take on the man, stretch the defense. That's our wingers. But that's how we attack. That's how we build up into an attack. It's always down the wing, play it centrally, across the face of goal, to the other side, and then maybe you're going to get a goal. Now, if you have a midfield that's made up of more 6s and 8s than it is 10s, then you're going to have to skip the lines, right? Much like Calafiori had to skip the lines to Gyökeres, to Gyökeres for Leeds.
Leeds United.
Gyökeres, yep. And then Calafiori to Eze skipped the lines. He's skipping lines because the midfield is not what he needs to play through. So, look, yes or no to that statement. What do you reckon, Akpos? What'd you make that?
Well, for me, I think firstly, Mikel Arteta is due to win a big trophy, and so I agree with that part that Mikel Arteta needs to win. It has to win a big trophy because I think there are seasons past he could have won a cup, some of these cup competitions, to give him some leverage, some money in the bank and all of that. But he missed out on that window. So now he has to win something on the big side. So I think, yes, he needs to win. If not, he would consistently get criticism of that because he needs to, have some kind of result to show for all the good work. Because, yes, Mikel Arteta has done a lot of fantastic job since he has taken over the reins as the Arsenal manager. But can he do so much better? You understand? These are the questions a lot of people are asking now. You have done a fantastic job from taking us from a banter club to a club that has consistently, fight and challenged for the Premier League title. But now a lot of people are asking the question now, is this not the time for us to move from the club that is challenging to the club that is winning trophies now? So these are the questions. These are the results people want to see with respect to Mikel Arteta. And now he has a team that I think, in my opinion, he has the strongest squad in this division in terms of quality in your starting 11 and on the bench. I don't think there is any team that is better than us in terms of all-round quality in this position. And I think now he has to bring in goods. Now he has to bring in the results. This season is going to be a result-based assessment kind of season, in my opinion. So that last part of your message there is spot on. The results needs to get so much better with respect to Mikel Arteta's style of management. I have my question mark with Mikel Arteta not trusting certain kind of players, not giving certain kind of players more opportunity to showcase what they can do, and also with respect to how you use this squad. I think these are areas that Mikel Arteta needs to improve moving forward. But we know that it's in every job, in every profession, you are going to make mistakes. Mistakes happen. But one of the question marks that I also have with Mikel Arteta is this: is Mikel Arteta learning from the mistakes of the past? Because so far this season, I have seen him repeat some things that I considered mistakes that should not be happening after testing them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games, and you've seen the results, and you expect to, carry out the same process and expect that the result will change. That is madness, in my opinion. These are areas where I think Mikel Arteta needs to be more attentive and change and improve and get better as a manager. But as a coach, I think he's a fantastic coach. But in terms of his managerial skills, there are areas that I think he can get so much better. And Mikel Arteta, can go out there and have a fantastic managerial career as a manager. He has done a fantastic job so far, but I think he can do so much better if he improves in some of the areas that I've mentioned with respect to his managerial style.
Fair shout, man. Fair shout. Thanks for the comment. Thank you for the comment. Manny's come back and said, one improvement of late is at left back. I think Calafiori has done a decent job and has shown willingness to overlap, with also being defensively sharp. A big improvement on Zinchenko any day. And you know what, Manny? I saw a little bit of the quality of Calafiori when he first came in. He struggled after that injury, and I was shocked. I was like, this guy, man, where did that Calafiori, that sharp, decent Calafiori when he first came in, where did he go? This season, I think I could agree with you. Calafiori has looked as dangerous as Jurrien Timber. I think our right back and left back at the moment, I don't want to see any changes to left back and right back right now. I think Jurrien Timber on the right side is just wonderful. I think Calafiori, overlapping runs, assists, and shots from outside the box if he has to go for goal. Those characteristics from Calafiori are starting to, I think everyone's starting to see that, and they're seeing him as a threat, whether it be as a defender, as an attacker, right? Or even as a creative player. The one little qualm I have with Calafiori is that he's susceptible to a yellow, and a silly yellow. And I think that's kind of holding him up. I don't want him to get too many yellow cards, and I got no Calafiori. But the best thing about it right now is because we're a squad with depth, I've always got Skelly to come in, right? So it's all good, right? But that's the only thing I got against Calafiori. Manny's come back with another good question, and now this is a good one. One more question. Nick Waltermaid is a different sort of striker to Isaac, 100%. Very tall and somewhat better footballer than Peter Crouch. Yeah, okay. Well, look, let's not say better than Peter Crouch up until he does it as long as Peter Crouch did, you know what I mean? Should our back four be worried about this extra height? Yeah. Newcastle have a big squad anyway. You look at their midfield. Boys, now you look at Burn, Shah, big boys, right? And now you've got, a big lanky striker. I think this is going to be, I think Gabriel Magalhaes is going to be destroying him. I think he's going to be bumping him. I think he's going to be harrying him. I think he's going to get under his skin. I think that's going to be Gabriel all day. I think that's what Gabriel will be doing to knock him off his game. But we do have to be aware of this, because when balls do come into the box, it's going to be hard to get this guy, off his balance. What do you reckon? What do you make of that, Akpos? What do you think?
Well, for me, I totally agree with you. I think this has to be Gabriel's job, and William Saliba would just come in and do the cleanup, in my opinion. But like you rightly said, we need to keep an eye on him, and we also need to do better with respect to dead ball situations, set piece situations. We need to keep an eye on these Newcastle players, because like you rightly mentioned, they are big guys, they are tall guys, 6-footers. So we need to make sure that we don't concede a lot of free kicks. We know we have our prowess when it comes to scoring a lot of goals from set pieces, but we also have a problem late part of last season where we're conceding goals from the other end of set pieces. So I think we need to close up shop in that regard. We need to make sure that we don't give them needless fouls, because they have the guys that can put the ball on the back of the net from this set piece situation. So players like Walter Maid, we need to make sure that he does not get in those dangerous positions, and we also need to make sure we do not make the kind of mistake that we made with Erling Haaland over the last game against Manchester City, where we let him, have a free run on goal like that. So for me, I think this is a game where we need our defense, because we do not need to concede in this game. I think it's a game where I think we need to go in with the mindset of keeping a clean sheet. If we do not concede, we will definitely be in the battle. We'll definitely be in the game. So I think our defense needs to be as sharp as possible. Gabriel Saliba needs to be no nonsense. And you mentioned Ricardo Calafiori and how he likes to pick up that odd yellow. I think this is a game where he needs to keep his head sharp, keep his head in the game as much as possible. We know Timber will always be Timber, strong and reliable as possible. So I think our back four need to be rock solid, and we need to make sure that no player in black and white gets any chance to put the ball on the back of the net.
Oh, look, we have to be solid. Look, Mikel Arteta, defensively we've always been solid, and I think that Newcastle might be coming into this game a little bit down at the moment. Let's be honest, they are not in the best of shape in the Premier League. So yes, they've had a good time when it comes to Arsenal at St James's Park. Yes, they've had some success and a lot of it. But Newcastle United right now, languishing in 13th. The loss of Isak, there's a lot of things happening there. Mind Games FC, all that. I think this is going to be an important game for both Newcastle and Arsenal. So both teams are coming for 3. So I believe this could be an exciting game. It could be. But look, I'm going to just jump in real quick, and I want to talk about the predicted lineup. Now, predictability is our back four staying the same, and our goalkeeper in the back obviously staying the same. So, obviously, Calafiori, I think Saliba will start again, Gabriel will be there, and Timber for sure. Zubimendi will definitely be the 6. But this is where it gets interesting, the middle of the park, because we don't know really the availability situation of Martin Odegaard and such. So at the moment, the way I see things, I'm going to think that Mikel Arteta is going to start Martin Odegaard. I believe he will start Odegaard. I think he's going to be 50-50, but he'll start him anyway. So I think that our midfield is probably going to have Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard in the middle of the park. And I do believe Eze will play on the left, Saka will play on the right, with Gyökeres down the middle. What do I want to see? Well, what I really want to see is Ethan Nwaneri in the middle of the park, with Eze to the left and Saka to the right, and Odegaard coming off the bench. That's what I'd rather see. And Declan Rice can play the 8. But I do believe that Odegaard's going to start this game, guys. Now, I'm not saying that he's not good enough and yada yada. No, I'm not going there. I'm just saying I don't believe he's going to be ready, and I believe he's going to be rushed back. Akpos, what do you think? What's your predicted lineup for this game?
Well, for me, my predicted lineup, the lineup that I would love to say, I would also want to go with what you have gone with. Eze on the left, and Ethan Nwaneri starting in the number 10 position. Because I'm also, concerned with Odegaard's, match fitness, match sharpness, and all of that. So I would want to start Ethan Nwaneri in the number 10 position. But I also have my concerns that we might also see, Odegaard starting. But if Odegaard is good to go, I think that we will not complain much about a midfield of Odegaard. But I think where our concern lies is he ready? Is he match fit? Does he have the match sharpness, because that's going to be one of the keys decider in that game. We know how strong and how consistent that Newcastle midfield has been in the last couple of games and last couple of seasons. So I think they already have that understanding. And maybe the manager might be looking to, bring in a captain, rushing his captain back for this one. But I would love to go with Ethan Nwaneri in the number 10, Eze on the left, Saka on the right, Gyökeres through the middle, the back four as we usually know it, and Zubimendi and Declan Rice in midfield, in my opinion.
With that lineup, if we went with that lineup, now I'm going to give 2 predicted scorelines. That lineup, our lineup, and we win that game 3-1. They will score. They will score. I've got a bad feeling we're gonna leak a goal. But with that lineup, with Ethan in the middle of the park, Declan Rice, his partner, and Eze left, and Saka right, I reckon we win that 3-1. Now, if Odegaard starts and it's Declan Rice and it's Eze, I still think we'll win, but I think it'll be a lot closer. I think it'll be 2-1. Now I'm going to give one final score prediction, that if Mikel Merino starts next to Declan Rice, that it's going to be 65 minutes of fuckery, and we'd be lucky to come home with a draw, in my opinion.
I think I would also want to back up, a prediction of that. If we see a midfield of Declan Rice, Mikel Merino and Zubimendi, I think that game ends in a draw. That's my prediction on that lineup.
It's gonna be what Mikel Arteta wants it to be. He's got all the cards, all the chips. He can do what he wants. So Noni Madueke out. He's got a 50-50 Erdegaard, but the rest of the squad's ready to go. So hopefully we go to St. James's Park and get those 3 points. But I am positive that we're going to go there and win. I do believe we're going to pick up 3 points at St. James's Park. Now, Akpos, before we take off, before we do the dart, we haven't mentioned, but in the description below, you will see Akpos's link there, right? So you can click there. But Akpos, where can everybody find you?
Well, big up to everybody on the chat. Big up to Manny. Big up to Busha. Big up to everyone that's made today's show a success, because this show would not have been a success without you tuning in. So if you've not subscribed to the channel already, hit that subscribe button and also, leave us a thumbs up. And you can find me always here on the channel with my brother discussing everything all Arsenal. And you can also find me on the Football Talk Shop. But big up to everybody. Thanks for supporting the good work that Steve is doing with the channel. Big up.
Thank you very much, Akpos. Thank you everybody who's chimed in. Thank you for your likes and subscribes. Manny's come in and said, for me, I'm with you on the goalkeeper and back four, unless there are concerns of Saliba's fitness. 100%. Because Mosquera, like you said, what a gem Mosquera has been. Like we've got the best defense. I swear, we've got the best defense in the league and off the bench. Like, shit. Like, Real Madrid's probably just doing this right now. Like, come on, man. Like, Saliba, Mosquera, he just signed again and said, fuck you to Barcelona. You know what I mean? And fuck you, Real Madrid. Literally said that. But anyway, I would have start Wanyeri over Saka with Eze in the 10. Fair enough. So Wanyeri right wing, Eze 10, and probably a Martinelli on the left. I wouldn't probably start Trossard in this game. I just don't think he brings in enough, in my opinion. So Manny's come in and said it's going to be Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori, Zubimendi, Rice, Wanyeri, Eze, Martinelli, Gyökeres. Bring on Saka and Odegaard from the bench. Why not? I think it's that lineup will work. That lineup can work. Saka could start that as well. And that lineup could be absolutely crazy, cracker, right? Because I think in this game, if Saka is to start and come off early, I'd be okay with that. I'd be fine with that. I just want to see Wanyeri play in the middle of the park. Only because, one, he's a 10. Yes, he can play on the right, but why do I have to have him on the right when I can play him in the middle of the park? And I know Eze is better centrally, but I can get him to cut in early and then fix up our issue on the left-hand side. But look, you know what? All's well. It's all good. Everyone, each to their own. Everyone's opinion is valid. So look, guys, I appreciate everybody jumping in and watching this stream. If you haven't, like, share, and subscribe. Bell notification on so you know when I'm on. You know what I mean? I am Last Minute FC. This was Last Minute FC. So thank you for joining me and my guy Akpos. But from me, from Australia, from Akpos, from everybody out there, guys, I'm going to say one little thing. Uru, guys. Uru.